So here we go. Remember what I told you about the smaller slot? So what we want to do, this is bent this way for a reason. And like I told you before, make sure that these are all pinched in order to get it through this thin slot here. And at the same time, you're going to be putting it in this slot at the same time. So it can be tricky your first time. All right. So we want to start like this, and then you want to make sure that these are all pinched. It's kind of hard with two hands or one hand. Let's see. Leave it back here. And you want to make sure that these are all flat. And once you get them through here, you want to bring this up and over into the top slot here. It follows like a, see how that goes? In the slot and underneath. And we're going to be moving this back, moving it back and back, and you'll see how it goes. I mean, it only goes one way, and we want to reach the board in the back. So what we're going to do is we'll be removing these two screws on this small board just to make it easier for us. If you don't remove that, troubles that I've been in and ran into is the contact wasn't they didn't connect properly, and it causes the carriage to not know where it is, and it'll slam on the sides. It'll go crazy on you. So make sure you're aware of that. There's a better view here. Let's go on this one. Let's go on this one here. That comes right out. And this is your carriage board. And quarter strip goes right through that slot there. So if you notice here, the pins are on the inside. Same way that the carriage cable goes. That's how we're going to do it. And insert that. Make sure it clips in. And that is all the way in. See? All right. I like to double check and make sure that my pins are all the way in. And that's good. I'm gonna have to keep possibly tugging on this a little bit, just slowly just push these in at the same time. You don't want to pull out too much on the board because the ribbon cable could become disconnected. And there's only one way this goes. It kind of clips in place as well. And we'll put the screws in. Once you feel it tighten, you don't have to go anymore. You don't have to keep going. If you try to tighten it too much, then you can cause the carriage to break. And that's how it looks in the back. This will be covered with the cover that's here. If you notice, you see this thing here. Now I'm gonna wipe some of this grease off. All right. Once we have that, we're going to make sure that your two top clips are on the top and the bottom clip is at the bottom. So when you put this in, make sure that this doesn't pinch this. It should go wrap right around it. All right. Doesn't matter which one you do first, the bottom clip, the top clips. Sometimes you got to push them in a little bit more just to get them in. All right. All right. Now we will put our belt back on, and we want to make sure that we have it on right. Which they only go one way. You got the slot in there that goes right over that rubber, that white rubber piece. I'm going to put that on. Slide it in like that. And we have to put this little lock here. Just locks it in place. All right. And that is a cable set there. All right. And once we have these in place, we can start putting this area back together. If you have to take the carriage off, it's very simple. This comes right off, and you have to take this little black ring off, slide it out, and remove the gear. Same thing on the other side. You have to take this out by moving it down, taking it out, this black ring, and the gear comes right off. Then you have the bracket for the encoder strip, and you have to make sure that it's slotted correctly when you put it back in. It goes right up and over, and that holds your encoder strip in. Then we would remove this little horseshoe plastic that locks that in place, and with this, once this is off the belt, you pinch it together and you can bring that whole gear down. Once that gear is off, you can remove the belt. All right. So here we have our cables. Those are cables for the main board, and